Hey, how's it going? So in this video, I want to show you exactly how to make $10,000 per month or even more with info offer consulting, step by step for completely free, right? And if you don't know what info offer consulting is, not only am I going to actually show you exactly what the model is, you've probably never heard about it. And also with that, I'm going to show you the exact step by steps for you to actually get started. So if you just watch this video and apply it, you can actually get started and get really good results, right? So this is exactly what I show you, again, for free. But first, before we get into that, proof that I actually do this. As you can see, this is just emails from my payment processors of actual payments that I'm getting from clients. And as you can see, the dates right here. So you can pretty much just check everything. And don't worry about the French just because I live in Canada, right? But this is the exact payments that I'm getting from clients just to show you that I actually do this. I have my done for you offer, which is basically linked to info offer consulting as well. And my clients with that have combined following over 1.5 million followers, right? So I know what I'm doing in terms of clients and getting clients and also getting results, right? You can also check out my Instagram and see how that is as well, right? But I want to get into this model and show you because this specific model for me, after 3 years of failing an online business, basically, it's allowed me to make anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 per week, every single week, right? Be able to work from anywhere that I want, and also be able to do nice things. Which for me, when I started an online business, that's all I was thinking about and wanting to do. Being able to make that kind of money, be able to work from anywhere, and also be able to do nice things as well, right? That's always what I've been wanting to do. Maybe that's also what you've been wanting to do as well, starting this kind of journey, right? It's the same goal for kind of a lot of people, right? And the reason I'm showing you this is because for me, like I said, it took me 3 years to be able to succeed in online business. I've tried a lot of things, pretty much everything you want to think about in terms of online business models. I've tried it. I've seen a bit of success in some, failed in some, etc. Right? And I just want to show you this because I want to be able to save you a few years of all the failing that I was able to do throughout the last 2 or 3 years around. Right? As you can see, this is me starting various kind of different online businesses, starting at SMMA as well, doing cold emails, all that kind of stuff, right? If you think about an online business model that you've heard of, I've done it, right? So this is exactly what I show you to be able to save you a few years. So at least when you get started in the online business journey, you can actually just stick with the right model that's going to work, right? And it's proven to work. So the very, very first step is just simply understand what even info offer consulting is. And that's what I'm going to show you, right? You may have heard before of like growth operating or IPGA, which is like info product growth agency. It is kind of similar. It is kind of the same ish niche, but it is different, right? It's like does have some different aspects to it. So basically, info offer consulting is basically where you partner up, right, with individuals who are skilled at something. It doesn't matter what they're skilled at, and you help them sell their own course or their own informational based product. Could be a course, could be a coaching program, could be a mentorship. It doesn't matter what it is. It's an informational based product, right? And it, like I said, it does not matter what skill it is. People are skilled at a variety of things, right? Whether it's business, whether it's photography, creative skills, whatever it is, right? A lot of people are skilled at something, and you're just basically partnering up with them to be able to help them sell their own course, sell their own program, right? Which we all know makes a lot of money because you pretty much have seen, right, on the internet, everyone making a lot of money with courses and programs, right? We hear about it all the time. There's reasons for that. Like it has like 100% profit margin almost. It's a very, very good business model to get started. You basically don't need upfront costs. You don't need to pay anything physical. Don't need no employees, etc. Right? So this is just a list of gurus that I found. But these are people who all sell and all make very, very good money. And it's not just these people. There's a lot of people out there that you probably never heard of, right? So what you do with this is actually pretty simple. What you do is actually just consult them on how they can launch their own online course or program and how they can actually sell it online to be able to make money. That's the whole goal. And that's why they're going to be able to pay you a lot of money, is because you're going to help them make a lot of money, right? That's how money and online business works, basically. So what does consulting, I have a lot of questions and people ask me about that. What does consulting mean, right? And here's basically what it is. Consulting is being able to, let's say, have calls with them and consult them on the process, giving them resources, so giving them the material so that they can learn it on themselves, and advising them. This is what consulting is. You're helping out someone, not necessarily doing a service for them or like delivering something. It's basically just helping them out the whole process, giving them the resourcing, advising them with the whole process. This is what consulting is. Then Compare that to a service, which we're not doing. A service usually has like deliverables. So let's say you're doing video editing, you need to like deliver a specific video, for example. And for service, you're paid based on the service that you give as well. And usually it's a lot of hours and work and a lot of headache overall, right? It's a lot of hours to be able to put in to be able to have a nice service, right? Because with consulting, you have the kind of authority status, because you're positioning yourself as someone who knows what they're doing. That's why I'm able to get paid thousands of dollars up front compared to someone with a service who isn't really or not in all cases, right? And the service is kind of inferior, kind of working for them. So it's not the greatest exchange of value, right? Consulting is way more like, we're together with this, I'm partnering up with you, we're able to make this work, right? This is what consulting is. And that's why I highly recommend to do consulting when you're starting out with this, right? And that's why it's called info offer consulting, right? And now the next steps, once you understand what the model is and what you're getting into, which is a great idea to get into, make it clear on what you do and who you are, right? I don't want any keyboard warrior. If you're about to get in this model, and this goes for pretty much any kind of online business, you cannot be someone who just sits behind their phone or their computer and just sends out messages and trying to get the online business space, have not even a profile picture. Forget about that, right? And not be clear on what you're actually doing for someone. That's not going to work, right? Maybe in 2015, 2016, it would work. It doesn't work anymore. So what you do is essentially your offer. What are you actually helping other people out with? And it's very, very, very important, right? I can't stress this enough, to be able to be specific on your offer. The more specific you're going to be, the easier it is going to be for you to be able to get clients. If you're saying you're helping anyone launch a course, they don't even have to be skilled, for example, you're not going to be able to make money. Very important to be specific. And this is something I touch in with my guys who work with me just one-on-one. Super important to be specific on what they do, right? Super important to have the right offer as well, that you can actually think that you can deliver. Anyways, this is you. This is what you have to figure out. You have to figure out who are you actually going to help, because a lot of people can launch courses. Could be entrepreneurs, could be creatives, could be artists. You have to exactly hone down on who you actually want to be able to help. There's some niches that are harder than others. There are others that are going to be able to, you're going to be able to sell more, some less. You're going to have to figure that one out, right? Or you can like sometimes combine two niches, etc. So you have to be clear on who you help. Then you also have to be clear on with what are you actually helping them do and get to that result. Are you helping them with launching their own offer? Are you helping them with building just a simple course, building a community, building their coaching program, building something else, right? So you have to be really clear with what exactly you're going to helping them out with, right? And then you want to also be specific on for what result, right? Is it to make an extra 5K a month for them? Is it to be able to replace their job? I'll give you an example. A lot of maybe photographers are burned out with photography. They want to be able to just teach others online and be able to, do less hours or replace their job, etc. That could be very good for you. Could be also work from home. Some people don't want to do what they do. They're good at what they do, but they don't want to be able to they do want to be able to work from home, for example, right? And I'm going to give you an offer example so you can pretty much just understand what my thinking is, right? Let's say helping busy filmmakers launch their own online coaching program to be more free or to be able to work from home, etc. Right? This is a very good, clear offer example on exactly who you're helping, right? And you even added an adjective, busy filmmakers, people who are busy, be more free, right? That's exactly who you're helping out with. And moving on to who you are. Unfortunately, in this day and age, right? I mean, this may be something you know already, but some people don't. You have to showcase who you are and show that you're a real person. It's not going to work. I'll give you an example. This guy right here, right? Don't DM him or anything like that. But he basically DM'd me. He was pitching me on something for like marketing, something like that. How do you expect me to be able to like give him a response or even be interested if this is what your page looks like? No profile picture, low followers. You don't even have a bio for what you do. You don't even have content, and you're private. Like, how does that even work? How am I even supposed to see if you're like a bot or you're a real person? Compare that to me. Let's say if I was outreaching to you with an actual, good message and a good proposition. I have content. I showcase what I do. I have a clear bio on exactly what I help people out with, right? I have something that showcases like, results for my clients. I have also a website that you can go check out and get some more information on exactly what I do. I'm verified. I have followers. I have a good profile picture. I have my highlights optimized. I have my pin post correctly done, etc. Right? So who out of the two would you personally respond to a cold DM? Obviously, it's going to be me, right? So that's going to be super important. But you don't have to have a profile exactly like me to be able to get started. It's just to give you an idea of like what you have to do down the line, right? So I'm going to give you, like I said, pretty much just like step by step what you need to do. So first of all, you need a good profile picture. You're not going to be able to get away from this. Good profile picture. Doesn't have to be you in a suit or anything crazy like that. As you can see, it was just a night out, whatever, taking a photo. A clear bio with what you do, how you are, as in like how you are, like what do you help out people with, and a clear CTA for the next step to work with you, right? For me, it's just a website, and like saying turn your skill into online education business, click here, people click here, right? That's a CTA. Specific story highlights. I have my life, just showcasing I'm a real person. Client wins. I have my YouTube about me, etc. Right? And at least 9 posts, because at 9 posts, when somebody goes on your profile, the phone pretty much like cuts off like a bit downer here, right? So at least it's like you can tell that you have a complete profile, which is exactly what you want. So at least 9 posts, and if you can do more, obviously the better, right? That's how your profile has to be optimized, right? Then going on to the next part, getting and signing clients, right? To be able to get payments like this, like I've been able to get 3K, 2K, 1.5K, 4K, how do you actually able to find clients and sign them as well, right? So how do you find them? I want to tell you something, that to be able to get clients from this, there are millions of potential clients, right? Millions of people that could launch a course skilled at something. Because there are millions of skilled people who could actually do this and there are potential clients for you, there's no shortage of clients or leads, right? That's 100% for sure. But before, you have to make sure of this. There's a few criteria of people you want to be able to work with. First of all, they're comfortable talking to a camera. If this isn't one of the things, that they don't want to put a video of themselves and like that, forget about it, right? It's not going to work, unfortunately. You have to also make sure they are very good at what they do. Just like little average is not going to be able to cut it. They have to be really good at what they do. Doesn't matter what it is. Again, they just have to be good at what they do, obviously, right? And also they're willing to make this work. You can't just work with someone who's like thinking about it, who maybe wants to do it. Like you have to be, working with people who actually want to do this, actually want to make this work, right? Especially if you have like revenue shares with them, you have to make sure that they're actually serious in doing this, right? So the first way, and what I would recommend, and what basically just worked for me, is you want to be able to find someone in your circle. Just go to friends, maybe it's family, maybe it's your boss, whatever. Trying to find someone in your entourage who is very, very good or skilled at something, right? And that's a great way to not only, maybe they don't even want to pay you, but you can just help them out for free, get a testimonial, be able to help them out with the idea of it, right? I'm sure a lot of people would be interested. I mean, if you're pitching someone to be able to make money, right? And maybe they can pay you a bit, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're going to be interested, right? So that's the first way I would do it. But then again, let's say you don't have any skilled friends, family, or boss, whatever, doesn't matter, right? Second way, and the way you should pretty much just focus on, is basically finding qualified prospect on Instagram. Like I said, there's millions of Instagram accounts you could do this. And I want to break down over exactly what makes an unqualified account from a qualified account. The unqualified account is an example that I show you right here, right? We have Jenny here, who's a photographer, right? A wildlife photographer. First of all, there's no bio, so that's not good. That's not a good sign. She has not been active. So I think the last post right here, if I check, was like over a year ago. Like that's not a good sign. She's not been active. She's probably not gonna answer your Instagram message. She isn't really good at what she does. I mean, she's not bad. They're good photos, but like they're not like outstanding or anything, right? They have to be really, really good photos. There's not much followers. That's not too much of a big deal, but it is still important to check. Like if you can get someone with just a few thousand followers, it'd be better than 600. But again, it doesn't mean that someone has 600 followers, you can't work with them. And too old. Respectfully, she's unfortunately too old. As you can see the gray hair here. It's going to be a bit harder to convince. But anyways, that's one thing that I saw that makes her kind of unqualified. But if you go on the other side here, what makes a qualified prospect? We have Dustin over here, right? He has a good bio. He tells you exactly, who he is, what he does, etc. He has even a call to action, like I told you to have. He has a good bio, right? You can see he's a real person. He has a few thousand followers, which is great, not necessary, but is definitely great. He really is good at what he does. As you can see, these pictures are way better than Jenny's. He's active, right? His last post like 2 weeks ago. He has stories on when I saw him. So, he is active, which is exactly what you want. And again, he has a good profile picture. And what's great about that, and something that I didn't talk about in this specific model, is that let's say you reach out to him specifically. When you're reaching out to someone about starting a course or program that has not many followers, let's say 4,000 followers, maybe it's 2,000 followers, most likely I would say 99.9% of the time, they have never been outreached or DM about this opportunity. Imagine that. Imagine you're DMing someone and it's the first time ever for them to be able to get a DM on this opportunity, right? That completely changes the game. I have, for me, just personally, like I have a small, YouTube account, Instagram account, and I get pretty much at least 1 or 2 messages a day of people who want to do DM setting, who want to do content, who want to be my YouTube thumbnail. Like, forget about all those things where people are just hammering outreach. You're never going to be able to sign a client. But with this model, what's so great is that nobody's doing it. Nobody's pitching these people. So when you're the first person to message, they're obviously going to answer you, at least hear you out at the very, very least, right? That's why it's super untapped. That's why I'm able to sign a bunch of clients every single month, right? That's something I wanted to put out there as well, to keep in mind. So how do you actually find these clients? Because there are millions that probably want to work with you. They're actually maybe just waiting for you to be able to DM them. Some of them are actually interested in launching something. They don't know how to. And there's not like specialists like us that are consultants to be able to help them. Maybe there's someone who can build a website, etc. But an actual specialist like us who can help them with the whole process A to Z, they don't exist, right? That's why it's so amazing, this model, right? And that's why I've been doing it. That's why I have success with it. But anyways, how to be able to find these accounts. What you do is actually pretty simple. You simply just search up keywords on Instagram search. You go to your search bar right here and you just search up keywords about whatever niche and the offer that you have. Let's say it's photographers, maybe it's wildlife photographers, maybe it's portrait photographers, whatever it is. You just search up keywords. You find not only posts, but you also find, there's not one here, but reels as well. You can go onto there, right? You can search up hashtags. You can find accounts, right? That's not the problem. Like I said, there's millions of accounts. Finding these accounts is not hard at all. If anything, there's like too many, right? So sometimes I get overwhelmed, etc. My team gets overwhelmed about DMing these accounts because there's just too much. There's so many you can DM to that are qualified, obviously. And once you do find these accounts, what you want to do, let's say for Dustin, for example, you can do a few things. You can go with their following. They're usually going to follow people who are in their niche. So you can go through that, just swipe through everything, find people, right? Again, you can outreach to people who have hundreds of thousands of followers. It's going to be very hard to get a response, and it's a different kind of service. That's why I'm focusing mainly like on smaller accounts, but you can do that, right? Or you can go on their followers, also very good. Probably going to be people who are interested in or who are doing themselves, let's say wildlife photography, for example. Or probably the best that you can do once you find an account, just click the suggested tab right here. It's going to give you like maybe, I don't know, 20, 25 accounts that are similar to this one. And then the second you find another account, you just also click suggested. You're going to find unlimited leads. Just message them, right? You're going to be able to DM like, I think the limit's like 100, 125 per day of DM. So I mean, that's plenty enough to get you started. If you're consistent with it, it's perfect, right? Like I said, check followers and following. Also check the suggested accounts. So that's how exactly you find unlimited leads. And then what do you actually do? Like, you've got these leads, but how do you actually outreach to them? And how do you actually outreach to them for me to be able to get like response like I got like right here? This is just a select few, but this is the kind of response I get. Like, people who are super interested, who want to be able to learn what I do and how I can help them, right? So this is basically how it works for outreach. The best thing, let's start with the worst actually. The worst thing you do is just a DM directly to pitch. Something like, I would like to get on a call, show you this, right? You're asking a bit too much on that. Then something that's maybe a bit better that I've been doing a lot is DM to show them a video. So you DM them and you ask them if you can send them a video more about it, right? It's pretty easy to say yes for them. It's just like a video. Okay, yeah, sure, I want to see the video. You can directly send a video. Like, if you really want to do it, you really want to make it personalized, just send them a general video. If not, again, even more personalized is that you can actually just send a personalized video for them specifically with their name. You can talk about their niche, etc. Right? That obviously is going to be the best form of outreach. The only problem with that is it is very, very time consuming to do that, right? That's the only problem. So I would probably stick with the DM to show them a video. But then again, if you want to do this, you find really good accounts, make them a personalized video. It's going to be really the best. And just some things to follow with DMs. You want to forget the love your content or can I share an opportunity with you? Those kind of messages when you start the DM, forget about it, right? They probably get some DMs like that or not, right? But overall, when I get a DM like that, like, I know it's just not genuine, right? They just want to sell me something. So do not do that. But the best framework, to be able to actually follow is this. You start by their name. People love their name. call them out by their name, right? Don't try to be like sneaky, be like, I love your content. Just be upfront. Like, you want to be able to show them something. I usually say, can I actually show you this video? Can I share with you this something that I made for you, right? And it has to be something of value. Like, oh, can I share with you this video that I made specifically about how you can launch your course to be able to make X, or how you can do this, right? They're like, oh, they're intrigued about it. They want to be able to see the video, right? Explain the benefits for them, like how much they can make, how would they change their life, etc. And tell them it's personalized. Oh, I made this video specifically just for you, how you can actually get started. Oh, I had someone also that I help who was in this niche. I thought it'd be great for you to be able to see this as well. That's how personalized you have to make it, right? So this is very good as well. And basically, once you do this, and you basically get them on a sales calls with you and close the deal, right? Now, there's a few steps between I'm not going to be able to talk about. I'll may make another video specifically about the sales side of things, and then getting on the calls and stuff like that. It's pretty simple. You can DM me if you have any questions about that. But then, how do you actually go about fulfilling for clients? And like I said, I didn't mention as well, you're going to be able to sign them from anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 upfront, right? If you know what you're doing. And then also with that, it's going to be the revenue share. If you do that with a few clients as well, you're in a position to do that, which is great, right? Now, how do you actually go about fulfilling for the clients? Because again, it's consulting. It's not a heavy workload service where you're doing a bunch of stuff. And I already talked about what consulting is, but here's the exact step-by-step process. Like I said, the first part is that you get on a sales calls with them, like I said. And for sales calls, obviously you need a script. You need specific questions to be able to ask them. I can help out with that. It's one of the things I help my one-to-one mentorship guys. I give them the exact script they need to be able to, perform on these sales calls. Then you get a payment anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000. It depends if you're just starting out, if you have more experience, etc. I usually charge anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 for the payment. Then you do the onboarding call with the client. You give them the resources. This is a super, super important part to be able to do this consulting service well. What I mean by giving them the resources is basically giving them this specific document that I made, right? This is what I call the online education business blueprint. Pretty much everything you need to know about actually getting started with building your course, building your program, coaching program. It doesn't matter what it is, being able to market it, being able to do the sales funnels, being able to scale it with ads, etc. Everything you need to know is in this document, right? And this exact document I give, again, to my mentorship guys, who want to be able to do this and just basically hand this over to the client. The second the client has this with him, he's able to basically do everything on their own. But he still needs, some support. He still needs some questions, etc. That's why the consulting part of it, where you're getting on calls with him, and if they have questions about the document about when they're going through it, you can answer them, right? This is what I do for my own clients as well, because if you do everything for them, first of all, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to put in the effort. So you have to show them how to do it so they can learn and that they can know actually what they're doing, right? So you pretty much give them access to this document, which again, shows them everything. You consult them with the progress. You advise them on what they should do. If they have any questions, they go back to you, right? But I have a question as well, like, how do I know how to be able to, help someone with building a course or program? Because you're going to go through this document yourself. So you're going to know exactly how it works. If you have no idea how to sell a course, how to program, how to actually build everything, I give access to this specific document so you know exactly how it actually works. And then you give it to your clients so that they can go through it afterwards. Right? That's how I work. And basically for the done for you service is also something I do. I don't really talk about it much, but this is where I have rev share. So it's like more of a done together and done for you as well aspects. So another kind of document. So if you're interested in that as well, right? But usually it's just this document that you have to give out. You have to give out resources, give out videos to the client to be able to make this work. Then you pretty much just consult them for 60 to 90 days. That's usually, what it is. Could be a bit more, could be a bit less. You can say until, they don't need help. That could also be it, right? So that's basically it on how to actually fulfill for clients. And then the next part is pretty simple. It's just scaling, right? You have this business now that's a consulting business. You know exactly how to get clients, how to be able to sign them, how to be able to fulfill for them, right? It's just a question of getting more clients, right? Getting more money for the business, getting results, and building your brand, right? The start, I'm going to be honest, the start is going to be a bit harder with any kind of business. But after a few clients, pretty much everything will fall into place, right? And you're going to be able to eventually find an automated way to be able to get clients calls like I've done, right? Essentially, if you've looked over the model, you pretty much understood what info offer consulting is. You see that this is something that you can potentially get into yourself to be able to make money, right? You've seen this compared to other business models and how can this actually play out for you. You're actually interested in getting my help one-to-one, right? This is not a course I'm selling like that. It's my actual help one-to-one to start as an info offer consultant, to be able to sign your first client in 30 days, right? This is the whole goal, objectives. I'm trying to get you to sign your first client in 30 days. And again, get to 10K per month, right? And get payments just like these, as you can see on the screen, right? If that's you, I want you to DM me mentorship, right? Specifically this word, mentorship, on Instagram. That's in the bio, right? And I'm going to be able to see if you're even a good fit to be able to work with me to be able to get the help. Because again, it's not everyone that can do this, right? I want to be able to take people who are serious, who actually want to do this model, because I know it's been able to work for me. I want to be able to help a few guys out to do this, right? So again, it's really a one-to-one mentorship, really like hands-on with you to be able to help you with this specific business, right? And honestly, I'm just helping a few guys out. Like, this is not something I'm trying to get a bunch of people in. That's going to be hard for me. I just want to be able to help a few guys out that actually want to do this, that are actually serious. So if that's you, again, DM me mentorship on Instagram. We'll see if we're a good fit. And then I hope to hear from you soon.